Imagine switching on a light in a room and instantly the bulb glows. But behind that simple movement is a fascinating journey. Tiny electric charges begin to race through metal wires, flowing smoothly through conductors like copper, while carefully avoiding the rubber and plastic around them. These surrounding materials are insulators, whose job is to block electricity and keep us safe. If electricity could flow through everything, even touching a switch would be dangerous. This hidden teamwork between conductors and insulators allows electricity to travel exactly where we want it to and nowhere else. Now imagine that this flow of electricity is like students moving through a school corridor. If the corridor is wide, they move easily. If it's narrow or crowded, movement slows down. This slowing effect is called resistance. The higher the resistance, the harder it is for electric current to flow. The rule that connects how fast electricity flows, how hard it is pushed, and how much it is slowed is known as Ohm's law. Look at these three materials: copper, silver, and gold. Now I want you to think and tell me, are these materials good conductors or bad conductors of electricity? Yes, these are good conductors. Metals allow electricity to pass through them. That is why wires are usually made of copper and sometimes aluminium. Now look at these materials: rubber sleepers, plastic switch, and wooden ladder. Again, I am asking you, are these good conductors or bad conductors? Correct, these are bad conductors, also called insulators. They do not allow electricity to flow easily through them. Rather, they block electricity. That's why rubber is used in slippers, plastic is used in switches, wood is used in tool handles. These materials protect us from electric shock. Now let us understand why some materials conduct electricity. Inside every metal there are atoms. Each atom has electrons, and some of these electrons are loosely bound. These are called free electrons. These free electrons can move from one atom to another. When they start moving in one direction, we say electric current is flowing. So remember, electricity flows in metals because of free electrons. Here we see some examples of good conductors: copper, silver, gold, iron. So a good conductor has free electrons, very low resistance. Now look at the diagram of silver. Silver has one electron in the outermost shell. This electron is loosely bound and can move easily. That is why silver is the best conductor of electricity. But we usually use copper because silver is very expensive. Now let us think about something practical. We know that copper is widely used in making electric wires. Now I have a question for you. Do you know the cost of copper wire per kilogram? Think. It is quite expensive. It is around 800 rupees to 1300 rupees per kilogram. So copper is quite expensive, but we still use it because it is a very good conductor and very reliable. Now, an important question. Is the human body a conductor or an insulator? Our body contains water and salts. These allow electricity to flow through our body. So the human body is a good conductor of electricity. That's why touching live wires is dangerous. Standing barefoot on wet floor is dangerous. Electric current passing through the body can stop muscles, it can stop breathing. Now look at this picture carefully. Here, voltage is like the push. Current is like the flow of people. Resistance is like an obstacle. If the road is wide, people can move easily. Current is large. If the road is narrow, movement becomes difficult. Current becomes small. So remember, resistance controls how much current can flow in a circuit. More resistance means less current. Less resistance means more current. Now we are coming to the main topic, electric resistance. So resistance makes it harder for electricity to flow through a material. Every conductor offers some resistance to current. Electric resistance is the opposition offered by a material to the flow of electric current. In simple words, resistance is equal to obstruction to current. It controls and limits the flow of electricity. Now, some of the application of resistances. A filament bulb. It uses a tungsten filament which has some resistance. It gets heated up and it glows. Some more applications of resistance. Heater, iron, a toaster, all of these appliances use resistance, due to which it gets heated up and that heat is utilized either in making breads or ironing clothes or heating the room. Resistance depends on four main factors. Is resistance affected by length of the wire? Yes. Is it affected by the material of the wire? Yes. Is it affected by the thickness, or I would say area of the wire? Yes. Is resistance affected by the temperature? Yes. Let's think. Will a long wire have more resistance or less? It will have more resistance. Will a thick wire have more resistance or less? It will have less resistance. So, will different materials behave differently when it comes to resistance? Yes. Now, this is the relationship. Resistance is directly proportional to the length and inversely proportional to the area of the wire. If you remove the proportionality, you will get a constant rho, which is resistivity. R is equal to rho L divided by A. Now let us see how each factor affects resistance. First, material. Materials with more free electrons offer less resistance. That is why silver and copper have low resistance. Second, length. Longer wire will have more resistance. Shorter wire will have less resistance. More area, less resistance. Higher the temperature, more is the resistance. When temperature increases, resistance usually increases. So, remember, more length, more resistance, more thickness, less resistance, higher temperature, more resistance. So, these factors help engineers design safe and efficient circuits. Now we will learn the unit of resistance. The unit of resistance is Ohm. This unit is named after a famous scientist called George Simon Ohm, who studied the relationship between voltage, current, and resistance. So remember, Unit of resistance is ohm. Whenever we measure resistance, we will always express it in ohms. Now we come to one of the most important laws in electricity, Ohm's law. Ohm's law states that the ratio of voltage to current is constant for a conductor. The ratio of voltage to current, V divided by I. This means that if voltage increases, current also increases. If resistance increases, then current decreases. So formula is V is equal to IR. Then you can rearrange it in terms of R. So R will be equal to V divided by I. R is resistance, V is voltage, I is current. This formula helps us calculate resistance, even current or voltage. So if we know two terms, we can calculate the third term. Now look at this circuit carefully. Here we have a battery of 1 volt. We have a resistor and we have current flowing in the circuit. If voltage is 1 volt and the current passing through the wire is 1 ampere, then we say that the resistance is 1 ohm. So this resistor is having resistance of exactly 1 ohm. So let me give you an official definition. Resistance of a conductor is said to be 1 ohm if a current of 1 ampere flows through it when a potential difference of 1 volt is applied across its ends. So remember the three important numbers. Voltage is 1 volt, current is 1 ampere, then we can say resistance is 1 ohm. This is the standard definition of resistance. Finally, let us briefly look at two important types of connections in circuits. The first one is series connection. In series, current is the same everywhere. Voltage gets divided. Total resistance increases. Second one is parallel connection. In parallel, voltage is the same across each branch. Current gets divided. Total resistance decreases. So these two types of connections are used in house wiring, electronic circuits, electrical appliances. So what did we learn in this session? Good conductors have free electrons that allow electric current to flow easily. Human body is a good conductor, so electricity can be dangerous to humans. Electric resistance is the opposition offered by a material to the flow of electric current. Resistance depends on length, material, area and temperature of the conductor. Unit of resistance is ohm and it follows Ohm's law. R is equal to V divided by I.